So last week here in Dorado Beach, we ended up going out to a local bar, and when we were out that night, Logan Paul walks into the same bar as we were at. Now, bear in mind, we're fairly drunk at this point, and we both are fans, and we end up asking Logan Paul if he'll open this rare edition Pokemon booster pack with us, just to see if there's a Charizard in it or something. But I think we were both pretty drunk, and so Logan Paul just flat ignores us. And actually, in hindsight, I believe this was the night after he released his new Crypto Zoo, which turned out to be kind of a flop, so he probably was not in too good of a mood that night. And so having two drunk guys come up here to him and trying to get him to open up Pokemon with him probably wasn't what he was in the mood for that night. So he ignored us. We then went home that night, or we got drunker, I should say. We went home, and this had been right after Austin Wallace had gone viral for asking Logan for a job. And so we ended up contacting Logan and buying him a plane ticket out to Dorado Beach that very night. The next day, actually, we woke up and we're actually pretty impressed with the amount of BS that our drunk selves had gotten us into. So Austin's a pretty chill dude. We showed him around the complex, showed him where Logan lives, which is probably 2 miles away from here. And one of the first things we did was we shot a Rocky-themed redemption video where he's kind of going through a workout. It's actually the other video on the TikTok here. And I actually ended up getting some really cool drone footage, but when it came time to put all the footage on my computer and do the editing, I had a lot of trouble getting the drone footage off the drone and onto my computer. It actually took me a couple hours, but eventually I figured it out. In that time, Austin had actually, without telling me, uploaded all of the footage in his own TikTok and made this different TikTok of him in Puerto Rico doing the Rocky thing, which I actually explicitly told him not to do because I knew that as soon as Logan saw something like Austin being in Puerto Rico, that it would bring a bunch of heat down on Austin, and we didn't want that. We wanted to be tactful. We wanted to release this at a specific time. And so without telling me, he just did something like that. Austin actually didn't get any sleep from last night when he flew over, so he's going on 2 days without sleep, and you can tell that's a stressful situation. So he says he's going to go for a walk and clear his head, and I keep on trying to edit this video, and he says, and he doesn't come back for 3 hours, at which point we're trying to go to Best Buy. We don't want to leave him here at the complex alone. Give him a call. Turns out he's been sitting outside of Logan Paul's house for who knows how long, and he's telling me he's going to go up and ring Logan Paul's door right now. I protest. I'm telling him now's not a good time. Come back, get your head together, take a nap for God's sakes, and then recalibrate and redo this. It took a long time to talk him out of it, but eventually he agrees and then just doesn't show up to the house. We ended up having to drive and go get him. When we get him in the car, he says that he's gotten a call from someone official, and he's actually recorded the phone call. And so he shows us this recording of him talking to someone who says they're from some department representing Logan Paul. And they say that they tell Austin that what he's doing is classified as harassment, and that if he doesn't stop, he could get sued or arrested. At which point in the recording, Austin retorts that it's actually Logan Paul that's harassing him, and that he's going to countersue him, which is just ridiculous, and kind of loses it about this point. Shortly after this happened, Austin tells us that he wants to go home. He thinks it's too hot, he thinks he's going to get in big trouble, and that he should probably just go home. We don't protest. He leaves a couple hours later. Within 24 hours of him going home, he messages us and says that he wants to come back, that he thinks it'd be a good idea to get more footage back on Puerto Rico, to which I have not responded. I don't plan on responding. I don't want to be mean here. I actually find Austin to be an extremely relatable figure to how I was when I was his age. I have a lot of respect for him going after his dreams. However, I don't think his head is in the right place. I also think this is kind of a condition of the culture that we are living right now, and I find it extremely sad. I saw someone in the comments call it main character syndrome, which is something I couldn't agree more with, which is a condition that's just all too common in our society right now. And it kind of like made it to the point where you've got a person that desperately needs the advice of someone like me, but won't take it. The humility wasn't there for him to listen to something that might have saved his life or done a lot for him at least. And so I find this like really frustrating. I find this kind of gross, and I wish him the best, but I don't think he has what it takes at the moment.
Oh, so you really got what it takes?
I don't.
I think that the humiliation that he's getting online is totally deserved. And I've got mad respect because someone that's willing to fail that hard really does have the potential to learn. And so Austin has way more potential than anybody else that's not willing to take those kind of risks. However, he needs to go through an extreme phase of humiliation if he's going to learn, in my opinion.